Sink or sink? Camp is supposed to be fun, but Sarah hates Camp Cold Lake. The lake is gross and slimy, and she's having trouble with her bunk mates. They hate her. So Sarah comes up with a plan. She'll pretend to drown, and then everyone will feel sorry for her. But things don't go exactly the way Sarah planned. Because down by the cold, dark lake, somebody is watching her, stalking her. Someone with pale blue eyes and a see-through body.
Hello and welcome back to Goosebumps Overviews, the show where we talk about Goosebump books and judge them on their merit. Tonight's episode is book number 56, The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Yet another Goosebump book that I have never heard of at all. And frankly, not a lot of people talk about this one either, which seems to be a trend for the books in the 50s here. So hopefully this one isn't horrible. The cover is amazing. First of all, the lake. What a beautiful and perfect place to start a Goosebumps story. You know what I'm thinking when I hear lake? I hear Friday the 13th. This is a total Friday the 13th vibe, and I'm loving this. Plus the design of the skeleton creature, although, once again, like Say Cheese and Die Again, I'm not sure how I feel about the eyes. The eyes make it a little too goofy. No, it's a kid's book, but I think it would benefit a lot more if the skeleton here did not have any eyes at all. I mean, let's look at Say Cheese and Die. That one was pretty good. It had that soullessness into it. I don't really know much about the Goosebump controversy because I wasn't really alive during that time, but I have to wonder if maybe that book caused a lot of controversy, leading to all the skeletons in future books having eyes. Maybe that's just a thing that happened with Scholastic, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But, despite that, this skeleton makes the cover. It's pretty good, it's pretty creepy, makes you feel like you're being watched, and total Jason Voorhees vibes here. Hell, there's even a canoe, and it looks like there's somebody in it, which reminds me of the ending of Friday the 13th. So, maybe we'll get a really good Friday the 13th-ish story here. I'm hoping so. This book stars Sarah Moss, probably one of the more unlikable Goosebump characters. But she's a little bit more memorable because she has a lot more character. Sarah Moss is an antisocial type of person. Well, saying antisocial isn't really doing her justice, and it's not really completely true. She's one of those people that constantly puts their foot in their mouth, that does foolish things, makes people mad by accident. Kind of a sad mess, really. And that describes Sarah Moss's social life. See, Sarah never wanted to go to camp. She doesn't even like to swim. But she's forced to go to this swim camp with her brother Aaron. And Sarah is just trying to prove to herself, and kind of a bit to her parents, that she doesn't want to be here. And she even has the mindset where, I'm gonna make them regret sending me here. Honestly, I kind of identify with this character slightly, because that's how I was when I was in elementary school. I was an asshole. I was a weirdo. I was a loser. I was kind of like this. And Sarah Moss, a lot of people, a lot of reviews that I've read seem to hate this character. I understand where they're coming from. But despite that, I can understand and sympathize with the character a bit. Although the character does make some pretty stupid decisions. So Sarah is not really enjoying her first few days at camp, because the other kids are really bullying her, dropping snakes down her clothing, all these types of pranks, and it's all just because she kind of threw a fit when she first arrived, not wanting to sleep next to the window because she doesn't like bugs. And let's see, at one point she puts bugs in this kid's bed, and the bugs bite the kid, and the kid's allergic, and everyone's angry at Sarah. And then Sarah accidentally tips over Canoe, and then has to cause everyone to obey this stupid, they have to join this stupid seminar where they have to hear all the rules about the lake. Which, by the way, this lake has like 50 rules, and it is pretty lame. Like, you can't go swimming without a buddy, you gotta be within 20 feet of the safety boats, stupid shit like that. That makes a summer camp not fun. Sarah's come up with an idea, though. She's gonna finally get everyone to love her by playing the victim. That's right, guys. She's gonna play the victim. Boy, that certainly sounds like modern society today if I've ever heard it. Sarah decides to drown herself. It's really so simple. She'll drown herself, and then she'll get saved, and then everyone will feel sorry for her, and they'll be regretful that they ever pranked her. Ever. Well, she plans to stay down long enough for people to start worrying. Really a stupid plan, girl. Oh my god. Please, you should have just ran away like you originally planned. Gosh, Sarah. So, as inevitable as it has to be, Sarah stays down there a little too long and she actually dies. Huh. That's right, guys. Sarah dies. And then she's transported into this weird purgatory world where she comes across another camp counselor, or rather another camper named Della, who can't leave this purgatory world unless she has a partner. And she set her eyes on Sarah. Thankfully, Sarah's revived, but she still sees Della, though, in the real world, and only she can see her, which is what the book is mostly about. The book takes a while to get to this point, but I feel like it's necessary to describe the character of Sarah, and I kind of really enjoy this a bit. It felt like two separate stories slammed together, which is compelling. Sarah is, despite her faults, somewhat of a compelling character. And by despite her faults, I mean the stupid decisions and part of her being very unlikable. But hey, it's no Andy and Evan, so I'm okay with that. Where this book fails to me is the scares with Della in the second half. They feel a little lackluster and cheesy. Like, imagine this as a film, and it just feels a bit tacked on. And I feel like it could have gone for a better route, but unfortunately it just kind of fails for me. And then there's the twist at the end, which I say I didn't see coming. Maybe I should have. And I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. It's just kind of meh. So, okay, spoilers. So, most of the second half of the book revolves around Sarah seeing Della. And Della seems like she's trying to kill Sarah so that she can get her buddy and leave into heaven or hell or whatever. So, Della seems to appear around the lake, so Sarah is terrified of the lake, but regardless of that, continues to go to the lake, which seems a bit foolish. Until after one time, she survives almost being killed by a boat. She decides to run away into the forest, which was Della's true plan, lure Sarah into the forest so that she can get killed by snakes? Okay. I guess apparently Della never drowned and was killed by snakes. Although it's really highly evident that she was drowned, but that's just kind of a ruse. So, yeah, her whole plan was to get Sarah killed by snakes. Luckily, she's saved by one of the campers, Brianna, who scares Della away. But it turns out Brianna's a ghost and was basically trying to do what Della was going to do. And despite the fact that everyone can see Brianna, that begs the question. It's confusing, okay? she's a ghost, but everyone else can see her? Could people see Della? It makes questions that are never going to get answered, and that's disappointment to me. So when it comes to rating this book, I love the beginning, I love the middle, and the end just feels like just kind of a disappointment. Not as big of a disappointment as some of the other books in this series. It just really kind of meh. Meh. And I don't really know what else to say about this book in that regard. But I do know one thing. In my book, this is definitely a 6 out of 10. So guys, that was my review on The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Which, by the way, before I forget to mention, has double meanings, because the Curse of Camp Cold Lake, described by the counselors, is about all the rules that this camp has. God, why am I saying this for the outro? Who cares? Regardless, guys, thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for next episode when we talk about book number 57, My Best Friend is Invisible. Say hi, Brent. Have a scary day.